This episode is brought to you by AZ Pro Performance and React Suspension. We're back in the shop and, well, we're working on this Left 4 Dead 88 OBS. We're going to tear into the suspension in this video, put the new wheels and tires on, show you kind of phase one of this. We're going to come back and do brakes. We're going to come back and do an engine swap and trans swap. We're going to come back and do the interior. But in this video, it's suspension, wheels and tires, and how we got the truck. Y'all hang on. So before we take it over to the other shop, this is what we're looking at. A 1988 Chevrolet OBS. Not a Silverado, a Scottsdale in this brown and sandalwood color. The truck is absolutely roached on the interior. It's an old farm truck apparently, and which is kind of surprising, but dash has some nastiness right there, but is otherwise intact. I've had them where they're not just fall and slap apart. Super dusty. This is really the bad part. Hood messed up on both sides. Got that nice OBS patina, but I do have another hood. I do have another tailgate that matches. The bed floor is what really sucks on this truck. It must have sat with a bunch of stuff at the farm in it, and so it's kind of crunchy, especially back there in the back passenger corner. But we're going to clean it up a little, put a bed mat on it. The vision for this truck is really to kind of make it a down and dirty truck I can actually learn how to drive on, like really learn how to drive. It's going to ultimately end up with a manual, and so I'm trying to learn how to drive this thing road race, autocross, just some spirited driving on the street. And so it's going to be a down and dirty truck. I knew that I didn't really care about the hood or the tailgate because I could get those replaced, which I found some parts to do that. Bed floor, not worried about. So we wanted to get the right suspension on this thing and kind of show you gradually how you can build it. So I'm going to go show you some of the suspension components here now. And yeah, that's the plan for the truck. Okay, so you can probably tell which direction we're going here. We got some QA1 coilovers for the front and rear. I actually went with just replacement Moog upper and lower control arms for the front, just kind of showing you guys how you can gradually ease into a quality suspension on these trucks. So instead of trying to replace ball joints in the others, I just ended up buying these Moogs from Summit, and they're ready to go, came painted and everything. The real meat of the suspension is this 4-link and the React spindles up front. So we got a React suspension 4-link kit for the rear that you can see here all laid out on the table, came powder coated, super quality. We got the React drop spindles that'll work in conjunction with the stock control arms and the bolt-in coilover setup up front from QA1. So we'll show you that in just a minute. We got the C notches from React there, and their pan hard and 4-link bar. The other cool thing I liked was React just gives you all these bolt bags labeled perfectly and instructions. So you can see we've even got instructions for the spindles there, instructions for the coilover kit are up under those bags. So it's a pretty detailed kit and one I'm super, super happy to be putting on this truck. So we're gonna get the truck out of my side of the shop here and then take it over to Mike's side and get started on this thing. Before this thing gets too warm, since it's got a hole in the radiator, let's see if it'll, I don't even know if the brakes will hold this thing. I think it's low on trans fluid. I might have just smoked the trans. See what we can get this whole thing to do. I don't know if it's gonna do anything. Coming in, Mike.
You're gonna break it, Robbie.
Maybe. You know we got to get your opinion on this one. Well, I gotta say, it'll lay down one. Hard to see. There we go. Laying them down. All right, let's go get to work.
We need to get the bed off. And then...
Oh yeah. So exhaust still comes out of that exhaust pipe, but it's not fully connected. It's
not fully connected or connected at all?
I didn't think it was connected at all, but how's exhaust still coming out the end of it?
It's a solid point. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Everything's solid about that except for
hey, at least
it. Oh,
look at it this
it's
way,
the whole
Jeremy.
system moving. That's fun.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're in business there.
Yeah.
We got to cut the exhaust up anyway, so it's already...
It's already like half there?
Like almost there for us.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so what's the plan, Mike?
I don't even know.
So this is what happens when you don't have park. You don't even have to pull the truck up.
You literally pull the truck
You just push the truck up.
Missing our buddy Wesley.
We are missing Wesley.
Yeah. What the heck?
It's unfortunate.
It is.
Well, this is our first time under the truck. And I would not say that it's getting better as we bring it up.
Oh, thanks for that. That was cool.
A little dirty under there.
Very nice.
Slightly gross, yeah.
But that's what we're working with. Somebody give me a wiggle on that exhaust. Let me see where this thing's. Oh, it's just right here up front. Okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of shoved in there. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
See?
We can just go ahead and take that.
You got the slide option.
We can just about take that right off.
Good. There we go. Okay.
Oh,
Good, there you go.
man. Exhaust out.
Flow master's removed.
Flow master removed.
That's
That actually looked like total exhaust.
Definitely not
stock
flow
exhaust.
master, yes.
But here's where we are. It looks like the oil pan's taking a hit before. That's encouraging. All right, so I think Jeremy and I are gonna start getting this bed ready to be pulled. I don't know why I'm calling you Jeremy today.
It's all
It's because we haven't seen each other in a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
This is Churchill. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm calling you by your government name.
Your government name, I know.
All good.
All right, well, it's up and we'll
Here.
get this bed off.
Center line of the hole in the frame in front of the notch and oval hole.
It's gonna be messy. A lot of mud.
Yeah, what he said.
Got the whole thing pressure washed. Probably still gonna get really dirty, but that should help.
Reacting.
Hold on. So we're gonna get all the old suspension off where that might interfere with the React rear coilover suspension. We're gonna be taking the front hangers off, leaf springs out, rear hangers, clean up get all this out, clean it up. And then if you're really looking at this, we're taking this off, rear hanger, leaf spring, front hanger, bump stop. We'll be taking the shocks out. I don't know if we're gonna remove those brackets or not though. Might just leave them in. And then definitely all the brake bracketry for the rear. So that's where we're starting. Churchill, what do you think about it so far?
I love it.
Yeah. I think we're back after it.
Yeah.
Well, there went
Yes.
that. Yeah. Got it.
Making the same reaction Mike did.
Leaf
So
springs
strong,
out.
Robbie, you're so strong.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Thank you. This is how Mike lifts us up. Leaf springs are gone. Now we gotta do the hard part, get the hangers off. Some rivets associated with that. That sounds awful. See, Mike's got us all cleaned off over here. No more hangers.
She said
I feel like you're just now learning about
she
this.
said you're buying her that Tom's truck.
No, I'm not. I'm not buying her anything.
Have you look on that screen and make sure both of us are in it? We in there now?
You both in there now? Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, guys, so we are looking at the React notch that goes in this OBS. And if you remember, me and Churchill did the notch on mud.
We did, yep.
For some Detroit speed stuff, but we're referring to the directions because they have it pretty well laid out here. So first step is we're going to mark the center line of where the notch is supposed to be placed, and that'll be 9.375 inches from the center line of the hole in the frame. I'm not going to read through all these, but I just want to give you an idea of kind of like what these instructions are. Obviously they have pictures, it even shows you right here where to measure from, and everything is pretty well laid out here. So I'm going to show you right here on the screen what it looks like. So that's what it's going to look like all done. So it's a two-piece notch. We got to cut a pretty good chunk out of the frame, but that's how their notch looks.
So this is going to be your top piece. Obviously the lower piece here, which will be the notch. I think they're only keeping about 1 inch of the frame. Yeah. So the factory frame. So this is a pretty decent size. I don't even know that I call this much of a baby notch because this is a big notch.
Yeah, big notch.
Yeah, but it'll still retain some of the factory frame, but not a lot.
And the cool thing about it is, as I mentioned earlier, React gives you bagged, labeled hardware. So pretty pumped about that. We're gonna go over here and get started cutting on the frame and getting this notch in, and yeah, keep you posted as it goes. All right, so Mike's getting that front hanger mocked up.
Yeah.
Basically, you'll have a link bar connect here and a link bar connect there.
Yeah, and that's what goes to the rear end.
Boom.
So it
Just so happens we're with him today.
Yeah. So it started raining. Like, it wasn't like a sprinkle. It was like raining. And this guy just starts getting up his stuff. And the boss guy comes over and says, "What are you doing?" "I'm going to the house. It's raining." And he was like, "We ain't quitting." He goes, "Listen here, young buck. Even a chicken's smart enough coming out of the rain." And he just walks over, gets in his car, and leaves. You ever heard of the rain turtle? You used to draw a turtle on the ground, and then if you get 3 raindrops in it within a minute, you get to go home.
I've heard about that before.
Yeah. Everybody's first question is, how big a turtle do you draw?
How much do you want to go?
Yeah, that's how you get it. That's how you get one over on it.
Bolting on the axle bracket for the 4-link and coilover mounts.
Ooh, pretty simple install, it seems.
Yeah, these brackets have the pinion angle built into them, so you can still adjust pinion angle with the link bars, but the brackets are designed to give you a rough pinion angle.
Appreciate that, React.
Are you saying it's simple because Mike's doing it, or it's just simple to do?
Appreciate that, React. Come on, tell him, Mike. That's the deal. When you say React, Churchill has to freak out.
Mike, why don't you react?
Mike, react.
This is my React.
Fair. So fair.
Ooh, guess who I ran into yesterday when we were out shopping?
Dwight Yoakam?
Nope.
Wow.
Travis Tritt?
Nope. He was next door. It's your buddy.
The Olsen twins?
It's one of your buddies.
So you can see how that fits up in there. New U-bolts, all the hardware supplied by React for that.
I wouldn't say all of it. Most of it.
Most of it. Apparently we forgot one bolt or something in there. But this is your front hanger for the link bars.
I'll buy today.
And then they'll run back to
Put some microchip in the...
right there. Okay, so we're back on the notch. And what we did on the other side, it took us a moment to figure out kind of what worked best for our truck. And it was making sure that we used the outer portion, or excuse me, the inner portion of the notch, but the main structure of the notch as the template. So it's the larger cut that you saw us draw on the other side the first time, or maybe you didn't see us draw it. But we're gonna do it this time and show you exactly how we figured out it all to be done. So here's that center line, as Churchill's showing you there, from 9 3/8 inches from that hole there.
And then I also went ahead and centered up between these two bolt holes, which is centered in the notch as well. So we're gonna line that up.
So making our mark. And then Mike, who has the most unbelievably steady cut. Whoa, he ain't gonna see that.
Let's try it.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Mike has the most unbelievable steady and straight cutting hand with a cutoff wheel, so.
You're so good with your hands, Mike.
You're so good with your hands, Mike.
Oh yeah, I mean.
All right, so you can see we got the notch sort of set up here. There's 2 holes in the top that are already existing that we are using to help us hold this notch in place, and then got to drill holes in all these other spots. So, yay.
Hooray.
Lots of holes to drill.
Lots of holes to drill. Just like on the other side, we've got this spacer here that kind of spaces out the notch. Then the upper coilover mount. I have that backwards, I did.
Yep, it goes like that.
Like that. Upper coilover mount sits there. And then the pan hard bar, the upper pan hard bar mount goes in the inside of this here. We got some brake line stuff and a clamp in the way, but it goes in here. So all this will basically just sandwich in right here on this frame. So we're gonna bolt it in.
Let's do it.
First we gotta do get this clamp off.
Yeah.
That one may need some persuasion. What's that? I may need to run up. I might have to run that step all the way through on that one.
Yeah, so this is the coilover mount, and then this is the pan hard mount. It's all kind of, you know, doubly up in there.
Yeah, so that comes off the bottom of the axle for the link bar mounts, but it's got, like Mike's saying, the lower coilover mount and the lower pan hard bar mount.
Yep. Word.
And it all just bolts right together.
Yeah. Don't need to waller out any of these holes.
You can see we got this notch in mostly. We're missing a bolt there. And yeah, we'll get it going. But you can see the upper coilover mount, the spacer's in there, 2-piece notch, and then upper pan hard bar mount off the back side of the frame. So that upper pan hard bar will run from there all the way to there. We're going through and tightening up all the bolts on the bracketry. And one thing we're running into on this front hanger for the link bars is obviously the gas tank's in the way. So we're just gonna loosen the gas tank, try to slide it over, and then tighten these from the back. And then we'll be able to run our link bars and run our pan hard bar.
I like it.
Mike has got these, because he's reading the instructions, got these to the correct length, 27.5 inches, and then they make these nice little, what do you call these, Mike?
Misalignment spacers.
Misalignment spacers, right here, that fit very nicely in the end of these bars. And so Mike's gonna show us how these go in.
Oh, am I?
Are you sure? We going bottom or up, or top?
It looks like we're going to the top.
Great. Oh man!
Wow, crazy!
Crazy.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
You okay?
No. Ooh, so nice. Bring her forward and I'll stick that in there.
Can I do it like that?
Too far, too far.
Not bad, not bad. How about there?
Robbie just yelling at me.
I mean, just trying to let y'all know. Starting to look like something now. All right, so link bars are on, and we're letting it down to do the coilovers and the pan hard bar. Then we got to figure out what to do with this mess of brake lines and bracketry. Pan hard bar
Zip tie.
mount is in the way. Zip tie it, baby.
We're just gonna put it right there and zip tie it.
Zip ties always do the trick.
Just knock it out.
We're getting there. A lot of shiny parts on an old rusty old truck. Not really rusty, dirty, I should say.
Coming on red clay.
On red clay. Call them Georgia.
Yeah.
You know he likes it when we throw that React suspension at him, don't he? What? I've never had coilovers at all, ever. You want to show me how these go together?
So the first thing you need to do is figure out what size sleeve you need in your bushing. We need this size. It comes with two different sizes. I guess thin, thick
and thin.
Like 1/2 inch and 9/16. Well, you find out which sleeve you want, and then you just kind of push it in with your hand. They go in pretty easy, so just push it in there. And then you take your lock ring, goes on first, and you thread this all the way down. So then you thread your spring seat collar on there, shoulder up on both of these. Beep. And then this goes on and kind of makes it a little bit easier for the spring to slide around while you're adjusting your coilover.
Oh, I see.
But what you do before you put all this together is you bust out nature's mess maker.
Anti-seize.
And you gotta anti-seize up this coilover. Because if you gullop this coilover, I mean, there's no fixing it. You gotta buy a new coilover. So
yeah, because that's aluminum. You gall it up and it's like,
it's done.
It's just done.
Put anti-seize on this seat collar too, where that ring goes. So that way when this is down on there, it'll still move. I just like to make sure that the part number is up so you can read it without having to stand on top of your head. Then you take the top mount, which got a little slot in it, you slide it on there, and then you just adjust the seat up.
Just to be clear, we're going on the lowest setting on this kit all the way around.
You just adjust it till all the slops out of the spring, and then you go install it, and then once you get it installed, that's when you adjust your ride height and all that.
You actually didn't get any anti-seize on you, I don't think.
Good thing I stole this hoodie.
I figured it out. Oh. Hold please.
Jeremy.
Ooh. Son. All right, guys. You're starting to see it. Really looks like something.
Yep.
Panhard bar going in. Okay guys, so we about got the rear end wrapped up. We got to adjust the panhard bar. We got to cut the center brace out from under this bed where it fits down at the notch so the actual bed brace can sit down in between the notch. But yeah, we're getting there. About to move to the front. Alright guys, so changing our attention to the front. We got the back finished up, got the bed on, made sure the panhard bar was in the right position to center the axle under the bed, and now we're going to pull front wheels and tires off, control arms, basically going to pull everything off out.
Yep.
Put new control arms on, React spindles, coilover, QA1 coilovers in there, then React spindles. We'll show you how it all goes together. Clearly I don't have my head wrapped around it.
You got it.
I got it.
You covered it.
Maybe.
You reacted. They're gonna be like, these idiots.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna say. A little mud coming out of there. Gosh, what do these rotors look like?
Garbage.
Oh my goodness.
Are they perfect?
Oh, they're less than perfect. Churchill, how's your side?
You know what? I don't want to talk about it.
Easy now.
That was pretty easy. I just like touched it. I was just like,
Get out of here. I'm trying to be helpful.
I was too.
Secret Service.
All right, we're calling it a night. We got to put the front end back together. I'm gonna get some new rotors, calipers, and pads. Just some stock stuff to put back on here. These rotors are toast. So anyway, we're gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go to the parts store tomorrow. We'll get back in here and finish this up and show you how it turns out. Oh, and I think I'm bringing the wheels and tires tomorrow, so that'll help. Noah, thanks, dude. Light fist bumps as I got coffee in my hand.
So straight bangers, and then it's just like random BS.
Bullcrap.
Yeah. What is this?
Mike can't take that inconsistency on the playlist. Welcome back to United by Trucks. It's the next day, and well, we stopped on the front. We got everything tore off and went home, thought about it, and I decided that I probably need to put at least some decent, fresh OEM brakes up front on some of this new stuff, especially since my son may be driving it, my wife. We got new rotors, new calipers, sway bar end links, got a new tie rod and sleeve to replace the bent one, some new brake hoses and seals and bearings and all that stuff. So got that going for the front. We're gonna get started here in just a minute. Yes, we have 2 different color calipers. I don't know why. The wheels. So I did end up getting to pick those up today. Big thanks to Scott Harper at Custom Coaters for powder coating these wheels. We kind of did a unique thing and powder coated the actual barrel a different color than the center, as you can see here. So I think it's going to work out pretty good with the colors of this truck. Definitely thanks to Noah and Rhett over at Midtown Tire Brookstone for getting these mounted up and balanced. So we're going to throw these on the truck. Here we go. All right, so we got the new upper we're gonna throw in here. I wish we could just throw it in here.
That'd be cool.
Now we in. He'll come down lower.
Let's put it in.
That's for the left.
Yep, that is the right one. Left one.
Yeah. It's almost there here. Okay, so one thing that I didn't realize before we put this on, and it may just be just fine to do it here, but to slide the coilover up, QA1 coilover up from the bottom with a stock control arm, you have to drill out these little holes to 3/8. They give you a bolt and a lock nut to run on there. So I'm gonna drill these out real quick, do the other side as well, and then we'll get the coilover up on here. I bet that did it. There we go. Now we're in. So I got the holes enlarged in the lower control arm for the QA1 coilover. We got the collars off, pretty well stripped down. Still got anti-seize on it from where we had it put together a minute ago. Comes up just like so. That sure does fit a lot better.
Sure does.
All right, so we'll tighten those down, run the collars back on, put the coil on, and slide it up in here and attach it at the top. I'll show you that in a minute. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see where the old hole is. We know, isn't it? Here, come back down on that.
Let me see.
So I can just pull this out. All right, now come back up. Keep coming. All right. Now we're coming through the top. The icing on the cake here, React OBS spindles that keep the track width the same. So pretty cool. We're gonna install these just like this. Maybe have to go up on that. All right, Mike's out of here. Me and Churchill gonna hang for a minute. We got this on. Well, what do you want to do next?
We can.
Take that off and put it on the right way.
I think we get to this point on the other side.
Him? Nuisance. Huge help, but also nuisance.
It's because I'm in my square boy hoodie.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, the BS comes out when I'm in the square boy hoodie.
Trust me, it ain't the hoodie. A little bit of a rear wheel mock-up. Yes, that drum looks awful. we're gonna have to do some painting in there, and I will ultimately get some big brakes, but hey, we're doing this in phases, so this is how it goes, right? And then we finally got upper, lower QA1 coilover React spindle. So we are playing a little touch up here. We've been putting some 3M rubberized coating on the frames. That's what I had on the shelf, and well, this is a down and dirty truck. But one thing we were looking at is these drums. Tell them, Churchill.
Never been off, it don't look like. It's still got the retainers on there from the factory. Either that or somebody took the time to put them back on, which is very rare.
Very rare. So we're actually gonna go ahead and pull these drums until I get a rear brake, or until I get a brake kit. We're gonna pull these drums and make them black.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna replace the bushings in the sway bar. So I'm taking the sway bar off and gonna get it cleaned up, get the bushings cleaned up, get this cleaned up a little bit more. Then remove the brake lines and brake calipers, put the new ones on. And of course we gotta fix this bent tie rod, and I got a new sleeve just in case. And then we'll put the sway bar back on with new end links, get the brake lines all sorted out. So it's next day. I've kind of slowed down on this a bit because, well, this truck is super dirty, and while I want to do a quick down and dirty, out of respect for some of these nice new parts that we're putting on here, I'm going back and trying to clean up some stuff. So you can see we've been spraying some of that 3M rubberized coating under here on the frame and on some of the other parts. We're not gonna get this thing all cleaned up and perfect today, but yeah, just slowing down, trying to clean up a little bit more, make it look a little nicer, just out of respect to some of these parts. So that's what we're doing. I'm taking off the sway bar right now.
So if you're going to run the factory brakes with your React spindle on your caliper, you're going to have this nub right here on the caliper. You have to cut that off. It hits the spindle here. But if you're running a certain brand of brake pads, which we are, let me get this out of my pocket. You take the bracket here, sometimes these pads will hit the bracket and not allow the caliper to slide all the way on. So what you're going to have to do is this material here on the pad, you'll have to sand some of this material off so you can get the caliper to slide all the way on the bracket.
All right guys, so you can see we've got the React spindle on, and since we're running a stock brake caliper and stock setup, brake setup up front, React will sell you these brackets to make the stock caliper go on. So this goes on the outside of the spindle like so. They provide you bolts to go with them. Put a little blue Loctite on there, literally screw them in. All right, so you can see we've got the rotor on. I'm about to put the brake caliper on and the new hose. And then I'll take that loose and finish that up there. But stock upper control arms, these are Moog. As a reminder, QA1 coilover, React spindles, just stock rotors. And yeah, I'm gonna keep going here. Okay, so we got the front end back together. New sway bar end links, new outer tie rod on this side. Got the QA1 coilover in there, new upper and lower control arms from Moog, React spindle, stock, rotor, and brake caliper. About to get this thing down on the ground, put the wheel on, I'll tell you about the wheels and tires here in just a minute. Shoot, we about drive this thing. Well, I'm liking that. Dude, look at the rake. Phase two, Mike, phase two. You wanna jump in and back her up?
How bad is it running?
I mean, it's, what you did something, I mean, what you did helped. But I think it's worse over here. Oh yeah, it's rubbing real good in the back on this side. I can hear it. So y'all know we maxed this thing out front and rear. Hey dude.
You roll the front, I think it'd be good.
Really? Thanks for all your help, man.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Dude, you made that back look easy, but then we got around to that front and it just was a struggle every turn. Yeah. Every freaking turn. Okay guys, just to recap, it's React 4-link in the rear with QA1 coilovers. Front is a QA1 coilover and a stock control arm with React's OBS drop spindle. Just stock brakes, front and rear currently. As I mentioned in the intro, we're going to be kind of using this as a project vehicle. This will be stages that we'll build this truck. We got a pretty big plan for it, but this is the first stage. You can see it's kind of down and dirty, and yeah, we got a lot to do on this truck, but real pleased with the stance and everything thus far. So before we go any farther, yes, I'm missing center caps. I have them. They're just missing the O-ring. But these wheels are Rushforth night trains. These are 19 by 9s in the front with a 6-inch backspace, 20 by 10s in the rear with a 5.5-inch backspace, and that is a 255/40, 19 up front, 295/40, 20 in the rear. Pretty jacked with this setup. Like I said, we got a lot more to do, but that's gonna do it for now. So big thanks to AZ Pro and React Suspension for sponsoring this video. It's so awesome to partner with you guys, Travis, especially you. Really appreciate you for helping us out on this. This has been just a really awesome suspension setup. Really like how everything went together, even though we were missing a few bolts, but I'll email you about that. I'm just kidding. But yeah, really happy with this. This truck needs a hood that I have and a tailgate, needs to be cleaned up, needs all sorts of stuff, but We got the suspension done. I'm super pumped with it. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of United by Trucks. If you haven't, leave a comment down below. Let us know what your favorite part about this truck is. Smash that thumbs up and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. We'll catch you next time right here on United by Trucks. That'll do it, folks.